Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Hare Krishna, welcome to the Sunday program. Or you should tell me welcome. Today's topic, intoxication is required. Intoxication. What is intoxication, you know? Some kind of escape, something we take which will alter our consciousness so we are not perceiving things as we should. So this is one of the greatest business sectors is entertainment. Movies, music, and gambling also, and intoxication. Huge business. Even it's doing a lot of harm, but it's bringing a lot of money. I don't know if you remember during COVID time, everything shut down, but they opened the liquor shops, at least in Tamil Nadu, I know. I think Karnataka also. Huh? Everywhere, many places, because of the money. A lot of money comes from there. So yeah, it's harmful, but the money is coming. Okay, and why do people take intoxication? Because we have to unwind. You know, we can't work all the time. We can't. Some people go to college, some are working, but it becomes too much. So you have to relax, especially on the weekend. So we can see generally people don't like their work because otherwise, when some holiday comes, they want to go, they don't want to work. And if you want to make them work, you have to pay double or triple. So we can see work, even college, when some holiday comes, they want to go away, far away from that place. Or if it's one day, at least don't study or don't work. So this is proof. Generally, people have to do these things, but they're not so happy about it. But why is this? We can see modern materialistic life makes us do things, work, study, so many things, which seems to be so much against people's nature. It's very hard. You have to pay someone, then they'll come to work. College also becomes, I mean, there are other attractions. People, when they're looking which college to go, hardly they're looking at. Okay, some very studious people, they see, okay, I have to get a good degree, so I get a good job, so I get money. They're thinking ahead. They'll enjoy, but later. Others say, no, I'll enjoy now. I have to go to a fun college or work in a big city. So that's the mentality. Generally speaking, people are not attracted, but they do it just for some pleasure now or in future. But sometimes it becomes too much. The work pressure or the study pressure, even from society, from family, becomes too much. You have to do it, you have to do it. And we understand from Shastra that our identity, as you know, you've been coming a lot, that our identity is, we are not this body, we are soul, Atma. So, what do we know about ourselves? Because a lot of people, all of you know this, that our identity is we are soul. And soul is spirit. We say spirit soul. Soul means particle of consciousness, which is inhabiting this body, making the body move. When the soul goes, body doesn't move. So this soul is, we say spirit soul because it is spirit. It is not matter. This is matter. Jada. But soul is not made of this, it's made of another another substance, it's a spirit. So we are a soul, but we forgot it because we've been associating in this material world for a long time, trying to enjoy this world, trying to get some benefit. And so we forgot our spiritual nature. Of course, there's a lot more explanation, but for now, this is what we can understand. Why are we in this material world? Why are we doing these material activities? Because we get some kind of pleasure. different things we do in this world, we get some pleasure. So we are attracted to do it again, again, again. However, the pleasure we get, because soul is spirit, soul needs to enjoy a lot. The nature of soul is like that. All of us will always try to pick a place to stay or work or live where we'll enjoy. And but at the present moment, we are in a materialistic civilization. We are pushed to do material things so much. That's not natural for the soul. So the soul gets very disturbed by that. And they can tolerate Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday it's too much. Okay, Friday night we'll go out. Okay, Friday we're working. Okay, Saturday we'll go out. Saturday working. Okay, Sunday don't call me. I'm not going to answer the phone. I'll just be at home. I'll just enjoy. So this is why people do intoxication. Intoxication, you know what is that? Taking drugs, smoking, drinking alcohol, tea, coffee, by the way, it's intoxication. But it's legal intoxication. Some is legal, some is illegal that you can buy in the shop. So intoxication is an escape. That this material becomes too much. It's too much. I can't. Let me take some. I try to take alcohol, I'll become drunk, I'll forget everything. But only for a few minutes, a few hours. Or we take drugs, smoking. It's to change our consciousness. When consciousness changes, we forget at that particular time, who am I, where am I, what is going on, we forget everything. And then we're able to feel happy. But there is no happiness. It's not happiness. It's just that for some time you came out of that mixing grinder. For some time we came out of that. So we're thinking it's some kind of pleasure. So it is an escape. Now drugs, problem of drugs is increased in India. It was not there 5 years, 3, 4 years. It's become very bad, especially in border states. Okay, now people have opinion that our dear neighbor from the north and east, they are sending gifts via drones to hamper India's progress, bringing in drugs. Okay, that's a fact maybe, but then why is there demand for it? Why are people taking it? It's being supplied, it's in now more and more, it's more in demand. Why? Because there's more demand for it. They're able to supply, people buy alcohol. Before you could not find shops, now huge shops and supplies, dealers, so many other, because people want it. So as I said, this is a kind of escape, especially in city. City it's worse. In village now also, but less, it's also there. In communities where religion, even culture, actually everywhere, the traditional cultures were very godly. Any part of the world you see, any part of India. Of course, India had a spiritual culture, Vedic culture. So any society where that culture and religion is more, it goes away, the more people get more disturbed, because that helps us to keep some sanity, some understanding who I am, what is this world. But when that goes, then simply I am a bag of bones working in this world, getting money, eating, sleeping, passing stool, going out, again sleeping, eating, working. Then what's the purpose of life? We don't understand. What am I doing? We can't understand that. So for the soul, that's not natural. Atma has to be happy, has to be in full knowledge, has to be in Sat Chit Anand, has to be eternal, has to have full knowledge, who am I, why am I here? And Anand has to be happy. But that is not in matter. It's not available in material world, not in material activities. So as we said that because now materialism is increasing, that people are more getting attracted to material enjoyment of the body and everything, and materialistic sense enjoyment. So now intoxication is much more. It's become much more. And you cannot stop it. It's addictive. It's addictive because I'm enjoying some pleasure. So I can't stop it. I don't know any other pleasure. But previously, people were having very good spiritual culture. So they were involved in spiritual activities. They'll sing bhajan, they'll visit temple, they'll be in festivals, and their friendship, family, society will be based on that. Even maybe they'll do some other activities, not that everyone was pious fully, but they had that background. So it was not so bad, but now this is not there. So where will I get the happiness? So that's the only way, through intoxication. I remember that, for example, in Western countries, so I remember, for example, in London, it's known everywhere that Friday night, everyone goes to the pub, to the bar, and they'll drink. There it's like accepted. It's okay, it's culture. That's their culture. I mean, when we arrived first time in college, they told us, everyone in the hostel, we'll meet downstairs, we'll take all of you out and show our British culture. We said, okay. So we all met downstairs, everyone came, we went out of the hostel into the bar. I said, why are we in this bar? This is a great British tradition. I said, why are you drinking alcohol? We are brought up to think this is not correct. Even people who do it, they'll hide, not like this in the open. So, but there was a time, even the Western society was very godly, but now so many atheistic, secular atheists. And so they've gone so far away. So what is left in life? It becomes very difficult to live a life like that without God, without spirituality. So every weekend they have to just drown themselves in that. So now, especially now young people, this has become a big issue. Smoking, drinking, and even pornography, whatever, some joy for some time that we can get, it's become a big problem. Future of the nation, our nation's future, they got absorbed in these things. And now they're not able to come out, it's become a problem. They bring people in the school, do presentations, workshops, and you know that everyone, we all many times spoke about that cigarette packet, half the packet, it's causing cancer, it's killing you, but they cannot stop. So, why do people do intoxication? To escape this materialistic life, because it's unbearable for the soul who is spiritual by nature. He cannot do these things for so long, continuously. And soul by nature is spirit. So soul has to have a spiritual activities, spiritual environment, spiritual. Of course, I'm in this material world, I have a material body, we will be doing material activities. People will earn money, people will study, people are living their life. It's going on. But even that was on a spiritual basis. But people opt for this intoxication, and the title of this presentation is, it's required. What is intoxication? When the mind absorbs itself in some alternate consciousness. Right now I'm conscious, this is my name, this is my job, but after one gets intoxicated, you forget all these things. Okay, so, yes, in one way, this is required in material world. In this material world, one has to get intoxicated. Yes, because matter, this absorption in matter, this is not real. This is not sat. It's asat. Because it's not real. Actually, this is not my name, this is not my body, this is not my identity. My identity is I'm a soul, I'm eternal servant of Krishna. So yes, we have to change it. But intoxication should not be this material intoxication. Because this brings problems. First of all, you need a lot of money. In one lecture, Srila Prabhupada said, even if you say, okay, I'll dedicate my life to material enjoyment, you need a lot of money, a lot of effort to do that. But spiritual, I'll use the word intoxication, spiritual absorption, spiritual intoxication, that is free. There's no cost. There's no other, so many resources required. It's free, practically. So, we have to go to the root of the problem. The problem is, Atma, soul, is disturbed. He cannot tolerate this life. Okay. So that is the root cause. Why? Because these activities are very painful, materialistic activities. Okay, so we have to start spiritual activities. We have to change our consciousness. What is the name of ISKCON, full form? International Society for Krishna Consciousness. I hope all of you knew that. ISKCON, International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Because this society is aiming directly for consciousness, not for mind, intelligence, senses. If you change your consciousness, everything changes, everything below. The truth is, we are spirits, souls. We have to change our consciousness to spirit. Now we are in this world so long, this material world, we begin to think, I am actually this body, actually I am American, Christian, Hindu, Gujarati. We are thinking like that. Next birth, I think I'm like that. But this is asat. From Shastra we understand our identity is, we are soul. So if the jiva goes back to that consciousness, he'll be happy. If you change your consciousness by material intoxication, it's temporary and it'll have very bad side effects. And it's artificial. But actual intoxication is when one absorbs their consciousness in Krishna. Krishna is defined as, it's in one shlok, it's written, Aho bhagyam, Nanda Gopa, Vrajaukasam, Devaki Paramanandam, Purna Brahma Sanatanam. Krishna is defined as Paramanandam. His form, his body, so is constant. You can imagine you bring all the happiness in one container. That is Krishna. Lord Brahma also praised his form. He described, because Lord Brahma at one time he became self-realized. So he saw Krishna and he offered some prayers describing what he saw, what he understood, because he had Purna Gyan, perfect knowledge. So he described Krishna's form as Ananda Chinmaya Sad Ujjvala Vigrahasya. Ananda. Krishna is so happy, and to see him is happy, to hear about him. Ananda Chinmayi, spiritual. Ananda Chinmayi, Sat, eternal, no end. Sat Ujjvala, effulgent. Vigrahasya, that's his form. So the jiva actually is meant to be engaging in serving Krishna. Bhagavad Gita tells us this is our eternal identity. This is our Sanatan Dharma. Sanatan Dharma, eternal occupation of the soul, is to be serving God. That is what we have to do. We can do, for some people, they leave everything and do it. Others, they continue their material life, but they're living their life for satisfying Krishna and continuing working, so whatever they're doing. But the soul has to work for Krishna, because this is the identity. We have to be connected to Krishna. Krishna has a quality, this is described in Srimad Bhagavatam, Advaya. Advaya Gyan. Advaya. This is translated in English as absolute. Another word is the Advait. Advait has some other meanings, but within our Vaishnava understanding, Advait means that there is no two Krishnas, he is one only. Advaitam, Achyutam, Anadim, Anantarupam, Adhyam Purana Purusham, Nava Yauvanam Cha, description of Krishna. So when we say Krishna's Advait, that means Krishna and his name are not different, Krishna and his form are not different. Anything connected with Krishna is Krishna. Now I'm speaking about Krishna, so that is Krishna. We are seeing the form of Krishna, that is Krishna. So in that way, one has to connect to Krishna in this way. In whatever way we speak, hear about Krishna, chant his name, discuss about him, then we come. So you may say, I'm doing that, I'm not happy. We are saying he is container of happiness, I'm not feeling it. So Shastra is saying that we are covered. Avritam jnanam etena jnanino nitya vairina. Our eternal enemy has covered our knowledge. Bhagavad Gita explains in chapter 3 that the eternal enemy is calm. That when we desire that I want to enjoy this world, this body, this material world, So what happens at that time, Krishna tells his Maya Shakti, cover his knowledge, that he should forget he is Atma, that he is my servant. Otherwise, how will he enjoy? Because you will remember, I am Krishna's servant. But we got covered now. Now we forgot everything. Now we are thinking, I am in this world, I am this community, this family, this society, this nationality, this religion. So now, because of forgetting everything, we are able to enjoy materially, but actually there is no enjoyment because it's matter. And I am a spirit soul. How can spirit mix with matter? It does not. Asangohyam Purusha. Atma cannot enjoy with matter because they are different substances. So when we say connecting to Krishna, that means one has to hear about Krishna, chant Krishna's name, dance in the kirtan of Krishna. And that covering goes, the covering. This covering that has covered us is ahankar. Ahankar is false identity. Because of the covering, I cannot perceive Krishna. I am not getting that bliss from chanting, from reading, from others are getting more happiness. Why is that? Because we are covered. But if we keep doing the same thing, that covering goes. Covering will go. Then after some time, we get so much bliss from Krishna. And this is our natural position. For many hundreds, thousands, lakhs of years, because if we take history from Satya Yuga, here in India, it was known as a land of great spiritual culture, religion. People came from far. They knew, for religion, come to India. For other things, you go here and there, everywhere. But for God, for spirituality, come to India. And people understood that. At that time, when people were absorbed in this culture, no one heard about stress, depression. These aren't words. In fact, I think in Sanskrit, there will be no word like that. We have to check in Indian languages, which are there in so many other languages, because that's not part of the culture. People were not on that consciousness. Material intoxication cannot compare with spiritual activities. People are trying to escape this material world and this material life, which is so tough in their work, in their college, and they're turning to intoxication. But the happiness that we get from spiritual life is so great that people who are practicing this, they don't go there. But people who are there, they come here. The proof is Srila Prabhupada when he went to the West. You might have seen that Hindi film, that Hare Krishna came in the 70s, 80s maybe, late 70s. One Hindi film was released where they were chanting Hare Krishna. People were intoxicated, having drugs. So why? Because images were coming from America that they're chanting Hare Krishna, all the hippies and drug addicts were chanting. Yeah, but they gave it up. They gave it up. They became preachers. They became very advanced. This movement was propagated by them. So those people left everything by experiencing this. This is proof this is higher. But it's unheard of, maybe sometimes, it's unheard of someone practicing Krishna consciousness starts drinking, smoking. No, because why? That's a lower thing. We are experiencing greater happiness. Why should we do that? Why should we get a lower thing? So they don't have to do that. People, there's a, if you go to Vrindavan, Jagannath Puri, all these other dhams, we hear about people, they come and they visit and they don't go back. From rich families, and they just stay there. People get so much happiness that they leave their wealth, honor, prestige, kingdoms for Krishna. Okay, we are not saying you do that. You can do it if you want. But the point is that if you simply come to Krishna consciousness, then whatever you're seeking in these other things, I have to name it because people maybe are not following the thread of the lecture. Alcohol, we are taking it to be happy. But why are we taking it to be happy? Alcohol, drugs, pornography, illicit sex, whatever other forms of temporary pleasures are there. But the pleasure that comes from Krishna consciousness is greater. It's much greater. So, we should go for the higher thing. It is unnatural to live a life in this material world addicted to material things. It's unnatural. It cannot be sustained. We will not be happy. We will not be able to go on. If somebody is living in this world and he is not practicing spiritual life, he must do intoxication. You can investigate it. Somebody has no interest in religion. Oh God. Or a little interest. I'll go bow down temple, something, chant one mantra, finish. 3 minutes. Morning. That's it. So you can investigate. He definitely will be doing some sinful activities to become happy. And intoxication. Because Jiva has to be happy. Now you have to choose this one or that one. Jiva has to be happy. Anandamaya Bhyasa. We are part of Krishna. Our swabha, our nature is to serve Krishna and experience great happiness. Now we are not serving Krishna. So we are looking where's that happiness. But we don't have knowledge, it's in Krishna. So we are experimenting here, there, and it's not working. So either this life, in future lives, it will come finally that we have to come to Krishna. And that deep craving, desire we are getting for that happiness will be fulfilled in Krishna consciousness. So the way to do that is one has to begin practice, spiritual practice. Okay, on a practical level, they have to attend satsangs, read the books. Why do we have to read books? Because we have to get knowledge, first of all, isn't it? If you're going to go somewhere or do something, you have to get knowledge, how to do it. You know? I want to drive a car. Okay, get the knowledge how to do it, to become a driver. You want to become an accountant, you have to go to college and study. You want to become a lawyer, you want to become a mechanic, computer scientist, you need knowledge. So if you want to become a spiritualist, you need knowledge. If you think I'll come, but I'll not get the knowledge, it will not work. Or it will work for some time, short time. But that actual knowledge, the happiness, will come from deep understanding. When I get knowledge that I have to do this, so then I'll be fixed. So it begins by getting knowledge, by attending lectures and getting knowledge, by reading the books, hearing lectures online. Okay, that is one thing. Another thing, just join kirtans, join the bhajans, take prasadam. Every day, chanting. This comes later. Later on, when we are more fixed, we read Granth, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam. Somehow now they got idea that this is for sadhus, they'll read it. When we show the book to people, they start laughing, wild, what I'll do with Bhagavad Gita. But actually go back 2-3 generations, everyone read Gita. Everyone sat and heard Gita in the evening. Not only sadhu. Everyone heard it. And they'll name their, everything in their family after characters in Ramayana, Mahabharata, Now, some strange names are coming. Pinky, Bablu, and I don't know if someone may be called this, I don't want to offend, but before the names were all spiritual names. Okay, so it was something for everyone, not just sadhus, We have examples of people, they are working and they are following this, completely following and happy. So this is actual intoxication because it's permanent, as Prabhupada used to say, stay high forever. Why do you become high and come down again? We take intoxication to reach a higher level, so-called, of happiness, but that's temporary. This is permanent. Permanently we practice, we come on a high level and high, and anandam buddhivardhanam pratipadam purnamrita swadanam. Spiritual life, it only increases, more happiness, more and more. The knowledge of Krishna consciousness is such that if I get more and more knowledge, I become happy, very peaceful. Krishna says in Gita, he says, Susukam kartum avyayam. This knowledge, Raja Vidya, the king of knowledge. Why? Raja Vidya, Raja Guhyam, Pavitramidam Uttamam. It's very pure. When I get this knowledge, now you're sitting and hearing, we'll get purified. Whatever sinful activity, things we have, gets destroyed. More and more you hear, more we become pious. Punya, Shravana, Kirtana. So, this knowledge is Rajavita Rajaguna Pravitram Idam Uttamam Pratyakshavagam Dharmyam Susukam Kartum Avyayam. Because when I get this knowledge, I become happy. More I get knowledge, I become more happy. It's like that. I accumulate knowledge in my head of Gita, Bhagavatam, I become happy. But material knowledge is opposite. The more you study, the more we become covered, thinking more in material terms. Some of the most depressed people are MSc, worse than them PhD, worse than them professors. Very depressed, really dark, they live on their own, they'll not talk to people. Spiritual life, knowledge is not like that. So, spiritual life, Krishna consciousness, it's a must, because soul has to be happy. Atma has to be happy. Actually, spiritual life is not an option. Sometimes we think, shall I take it? Shall I do? I'll do later. I won't do it now. But actually, this is something which has to be done. If we don't do it, then we'll end up doing some sinful activity. We'll get absorbed in intoxication. Why? Because Jiva cannot live like this. This is not natural life, how they are living now in this so-called civilization. Being completely absorbed whole day in some materialistic activity, then sleeping, eating, that's it. Without connecting to Krishna. Jiva has to connect to Krishna. It is our nature. We can see that in Bhagavad Gita. We see that when this knowledge is taught to anybody, naturally they become happy, peaceful, even though they didn't know anything about Krishna before. Now Krishna conscious movement has spread all over the world. And the people, they don't have a clue who's Krishna. What is Mahaprabhu? They don't know. But we speak the knowledge, they become happy, they take it, they start chanting, they advance very fast. This shows that it is not on the level of material, mental, intellectual, it's on a spiritual level. Even though no one understands, but it's appealing to them because it is our position naturally to serve Krishna. What we are teaching is nothing new, nothing something that we are trying to brainwash, or just it's something which we did long time ago, many births ago, which we have to again do to be happy. As we said, if we don't do it, we'll end up getting absorbed in these other things to escape the dull materialistic life. So yes, intoxication should be there. Yes, it should be there. But which one? Krishna consciousness. In fact, Prabhupada said one thing, this movement is also spoken of as the Sankirtan movement, because in the form that now Bhakti has come, the form which is meant for Kali Yuga was inaugurated by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that everyone now to achieve perfection, they should chant Hare Krishna, Sankirtan, together, everyone together, chanting, propagating Krishna's names. When we do that, we become happy. Naturally, when we glorify Krishna, we become happy. So when we glorify His name, chanting, speaking, we become happy. That's very natural. So Prabhupada explained one thing. He said that the real intoxication is Sankirtan. He said in America, if people, and there are two types of Sankirtan. One is when we go on the road and chant, or here we chant. Another kind of happiness, another kind of Sankirtan is distributing books of Srila Prabhupada. So when we do that, when we distribute books, Prabhupada said that is the actual intoxication, that people become purified and blissful and happy. You may not understand, some of you are new, but people who become fixed in this Krishna consciousness, we go distributing books, we become so happy because it's pleasing to Krishna and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we get a level of happiness and bliss. So the Jiva should take this up. It's not option, it's compulsory. Only thing is you can decide this life, next life, 100 lives, but you have to take it. Krishna conscious, because it's our nature. This is our nature. And frankly, without it, very disturbed life, very painful to live in this world without Krishna, without any spiritual life. Very painful. A lot of us, we came into this movement, but before that we were not there. We had no clue, no plan even. So how we were living before and how we are living now, we can understand. that this is something we have to do, we have to stay, we have to do it, and we have to propagate it. Hare Krishna. Any question?
So after taking intoxication, like in Shastras, they would say that you will go to hell. So,
Yeah, now in 5th canto Srimad Bhagavatam, in Brahma Vaivarta Purana, they explained about hell and punishments. So, punishments are given for intoxication, especially alcohol and others, illicit relation between men and women. That is there. Actually, you see the logic for that is that we are in a diseased condition because we don't want to serve God. So we are given this human body to come out of that condition. We are given a brain, hands, and put in this material world, and we are given Vedas. Okay, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explained that Maya grasta jeev nahi svata Krishna gyan, jivara kripa kaila Krishna ved puran. The jiva who is infected by Maya, he cannot come out. So Krishna has given Vedas. Krishna has given the body to read the Veda and to practice bhakti and come out. It's a great benediction, great boon that we can go back to Vaikuntha with this body. But when we misuse it for material sense gratification, it's a misuse. And that's why we are punished. Punishment is because we are misusing something which was meant for something else. So the punishment is given, and it's actually just like a parent punishes a child or the state government punishes, but actually it's some kind of compassion to rectify someone. So it's just to bring us back in the proper mood that we have to serve, use the body properly for serving God. That's the purpose. Hare Krishna. Any other question? Okay, let's stop. It's late. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai.